Now we're running on over to the next portion of the show. Follywood. Absolute cinema. The fall of Hollywood. Let's fucking go.
AOC said that woke 1.0 was so crazy.
It's gonna be a long one.
Yeah, we went too far.
Yeah.
Which means there's woke 2.0. And you cover film, things like this quite a bit. I mean, I watch your stuff all the time. Are you seeing that play out?
Hobbies unite and politics divide. So the two things are mutually exclusive, and when they infect, because that's what it is, leftism is a disease of the mind.
True.
And
Based.
so when they infect stuff like this, they ruin it.
So we actually have a guest coming up. And here's the thing. I've watched his videos for a long time. It was actually shown to me by my brother a while ago. And I remember thinking, hey, you know what? I think this guy is inherently more right-leaning. But I never, I see this quite a bit online, and I never want to pull them out of the closet like what happened with the Hodge twins at one period in time where the one brother found out the other brother voted for Mitt Romney. They got into a physical fight. I was like, okay, so I want to avoid that. But now he's waded into some of these social issues. And I don't want to mischaracterize him, but he's great. If you want to deep dive on some historical videos on his channel, it's Metatron YT on YouTube and Pure Metatron on X. Please welcome to the show. I'm very excited, Mr. Metatron. Metatron, how are you, sir? Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can see you. I can hear you. Thank you so much for having me on, Stephen.
And he's recently a dad based.
I'm so glad to have you on. And I apologize. Early on the show, I said you were Greek, and then they informed me that you're not. You're a Guinea.
That's exactly.
I don't know where I got that you were. Probably because so many of your videos, center around history, and there have been so many inaccurate adaptations.
He's a Medi. He's a Mediterranean.
Maybe of Greek mythology, things like, do you think maybe that's why? Because you seem to cover a lot of the Greek stuff, and usually Italians and Greeks don't get along that well.
No, we love each other. Una faccia, una razza is what we say, one face, one race. Particularly because I'm from down south, I'm from Sicily, so the very, very Greek, if you will. And also because, they're one of the reasons why I talk about ancient Greece.
Don't Italians and Sicilians hate each other?
Because of all the LGBTQ propaganda stuff.
That's a very interesting one, because you've touched on this probably better than anyone I've seen. And let me just ask you, well, first, a couple of questions. You started off as a history guy on YouTube. And like I said, a lot of that, and I think a lot of people have misconceptions about, they're like, well, the Greeks were super gay. It's like, well, yeah, they'd have like a boy on the side, but they still didn't have gay marriage. They'd be like, well, you do that as like a power move. You don't marry him. Come on, we're not absurd. How has that morphed into what you're doing now? Because you still do history, but like I said, I never want to mischaracterize you. I know you've waded into more culture politics too.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. So it started 12 years ago, mostly history and language, because before doing YouTube, I was in high school.
I didn't know that.
Worked through the EU funds of university and research itinerant. So I would go to Sardinia, Sicily, north of Italy, south of Italy. But then what I would do is that because history is my passion, then after teaching foreign language acquisition, I have a degree in Japanese, minor in Mandarin. Then, after school, I would come home and be like, hey, what did the Romans, Imperial Rome, Western civilization, the glory of
Rome,
the medieval period and all that. And so
ancient Rome, not current Rome.
Started making videos about it. And then people started asking questions, not just about the helmet, the armor, the shield, but were the ancient Egyptians black? And I would say, no. Were the Greeks black? No. What about, were they all gay? No. And so transgender Viking, I don't know if you heard about that one. Mm-hmm. We can talk about it if you want.
Yes.
So yeah, I started answering questions, which means I got hated by the...
There was a single transgender Viking. That means that trans has always existed. No, That's not how that works.
Left. So they started calling me a bigot. I'm a proud bigot, by the way, very proud bigot.
Yeah, good for you.
Make sure it's clear. And so all of that counterattack, I started weighing more on the culture war, always in connection to history.
Right.
Until 1 year ago. 1 year ago, Charlie Kirk dies, I explode.
Yeah.
So I started making hit pieces on Hassan Piker, Destiny, and all these people. And I removed my channel policy, which used to be, I only talk politics when in connection to history. Mm-hmm. So they asked me about the Vikings, they asked me about the Greeks, the Romans.
Yeah, unfortunately, now we are living through history.
Medieval, whatever. Now I don't. Now I'll talk about whatever because someone has to do it. And in the educational sphere, they are terrified of being called buzzwords.
Yeah.
And so here we are.
Do you think a part of it is you also realize that, well, right now you're living history? This is that fracturing of, I mean, if you're going to talk about, empire, the United States, this is sort of that era. And we're seeing the fractures right now. So you felt like it was necessary to take a side?
Not just the United States.
Yeah, also because I have an invested interest. I'm a father, I have a son. He is American because, I live in the U.S. He entered legally through the proper channel as anyone should with the little bit of morality and respect for this great country. And my wife is American, my son is American, and I want him to live in a society that doesn't judge him for his skin.
He wants to be able to walk to the store without being attacked by a mob of goblins.
This anti-white rhetoric that we've got everywhere that I've addressed a few times, which is absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
And there's that.
I thought you were going to say judge him for his skin, like being half black because you're Sicilian, and we all know how that goes. But come on. There's somewhere down. If you do 23andMe, you're like, there's this guy behind your woodshed. But let me ask you this. I want to rapid fire because I remember a few that really stuck out. I want to get to Viking Barbie. Please. Cleopatra, when that happened, that was a big controversy. Was Cleopatra black?
No. Documentary. They turned the entire family black, not just her. One of the most inbred families that kept as genetically pure as much as they could. In fact, inbred. They would not touch. No, yeah, they turned everyone black. It was insane.
Yeah.
Which is funny. It's really funny. They made everybody black, and also everybody knows that that family was inbred. It's just... They don't realize how racist they are.
Everyone was black. By the way, did you ever see Rome on HBO that predated
yes.
Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Cleopatra there turned out was quite a bit more accurate. She was quite the whore.
I mean, politically, I would say.
Yeah, she had
with a political spin.
Let me ask you this: is this true? Because I know that, as I understand it, it's not. But there was a rumor for a very long time that she would have a gourd of bees and use it as a vibrator. And I understand that's not true, but there were sort of Egyptian sex objects.
Yeah, I'm not specialized in Egyptian sex toys, but
come on,
since when?
You're no Italian. You're supposed to be a lover. Let me ask you about. You mentioned transgender Viking. That's one that maybe some people here aren't familiar with.
Yeah, no, that was insane. Because again, I have a team, and which people, very capable researchers to help me out with the history. And the thing is that there was this story pushed by the left where they were saying that they found these bones, and the bones were female, not that they would use that word, female bones, and then next to shields and axes. So of course, what would you think? First thing come to your mind is that like an actual shield maiden? Is that real? No, they say no, it's a transgender man, meaning a
I remember seeing this. This shit's fucking stupid.
Woman, a female who identifies
it's like they came to conclusions without evidence.
As a man. Start pushing this idea. It's complete nonsense. We look into it. And my team and I were like amazed. Okay, so basically they mixed the bones with the funerary kits. No one knows. This is said on the museum page. Mm-hmm. All you need is a click, not a deep analysis. They mix the bones. We don't know if the bones belong to that funerary kit. So the whole story they spun about transgender Vikings, which is nonsense, no such a thing, was based on nothing. And it's thin air, but that's what it is.
Yeah, and you see that a lot too. You'll see it, for example, like when they go two-spirited. They'll go, there are many Native American communities that, and really the term was invented only a few decades ago, but you also find some people that are like, oh, okay, he's a little light in the loafers, I guess we'll tolerate him. But the idea that society was based around countless genders, there are no examples of that actually being the case, even if there are outliers, but they present it as, see, this was the norm. We're the first people to not get it.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's complete insanity, and it's propaganda. It's what it is. And you have to stand up for it, because now it used to.
And it comes from the man at the top of the world. Not really a man, a demon, the king of the demons, Satan, He runs this world.
Be just a bunch of woke nonsense, but now it's in academia and it's systematic.
Well, I was going to ask you about that because you mentioned at the museum how you're only one click away. You know, we saw what I believe was Donald Trump in the Smithsonian. How much do you see this as being a history professor? Do you see it in the institutions where they completely disregard accuracy in order to push an agenda? Because it seems unbelievably rampant.
Yeah, and it's basically it's a copycat of what happened in the 20th century with totalitarian regimes, because that's what they did. The Nazis did it. The fascists in Italy did it. It was a thing, not to mention USSR, communist, Stalin, whatever. They take control of the educational system because that way they can make sure they can breed a new solid voting bloc. This is what it is. Yeah. So while they are propagandizing everything, and you really think about it, how can we use the same term, university graduate, someone with a degree, when it comes to someone with hard science background, someone who can engineer the transistors of a chip and send people to space, and someone with a degree in gender ideology?
Right. Well, I think... no, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying the first one helps with the betterment of our species. The second one is parasitic in nature, and it's only...
And now it's problematic. If you go against all of these teachings, even if you are a guy that knows how to make transistors and how to go to space and shit, if you don't fall in line, you don't get that job. And that's why everything is so shit right now. It's why we were hearing stories about pilots being shit. We were hearing stories about plane crashes. It's because all of the good people are pushed out because they're problematic, because of their opinions and their backwards sensibilities.
A way to become a vector of propaganda is what it is.
Well, and it's interesting that you say that, because I think the primary difference too, and this gives us a path forward, you look at, fascists in Italy or U.S. authoritarianism or the Nazis.
Real fascists.
People look at it historically and go, okay, those who had political power, meaning you're the president, you're the prime minister, you're the supreme ruler, right? They used history as a form of propaganda. Whereas in the United States, they'll go, hey, Donald Trump is president, so that can't happen. They don't understand that it's about seizing institutions. And this is the failure of conservatives, of the right, where we have allowed subversive, like the left and the Marxists, to seize power of institutions. So it's actually at odds with our society. It's not propaganda for those in political power. It's propaganda for those who fought this long, slow march.
Absolutely. And then you see situations. I don't understand how someone like a Sam Piker is invited and given a microphone to, regardless of the rhetoric he has pushed. And by the way, can we talk about this?
Yeah, he's evil. They're evil. They love evil. He says the evil things that they like to say. So he gets invited to all of the evil propaganda events.
It's freaking mouths
that evil people buy into, and then they repeat.
Zedong cosplay that I heard you mention a second ago. Yes. So I gotta say it, I'm sorry. In China, they have Mao Zedong. Here we've got Mao Zedong.
Yes.
This absolute clown.
I know. Also, you don't get to dress like Mao Zedong when you have $2,000 glasses and completely unnecessary jewelry. You don't get to be like, look, by the way, I always say this, Casio keeps time just as well. You don't get to claim to be a socialist when you have rings and a necklace and an expensive watch. These are just like you can't claim to be an environmentalist if you have a fragrance. Completely unnecessary. You just want a few more bucks. That's it. You're a hypocrite, but not just a hypocrite. You don't believe what you're saying. That's, for me, the litmus test.
Actual grifter. Say, and you might think I'm extreme, I don't know, denaturalize and deport him and his uncle with the bestiality statements, if you remember.
Yes, I do.
I've got it saved. I saved because people tell me, no, it didn't happen. I have it saved. I have the clip. And I show it periodically.
They're also
it's champagne socialism is what we call it, right? It's a champagne. And again, I'm a normie, right, when it comes to the political space. I can't give you an analysis of the political policies. I don't have an understanding of economics, although arguably neither do social.
I know what their political policies are. Think about anything that Satan would like.
The reality is that this guy doesn't deserve to be in this great country.
No, he doesn't.
That's what I think. And I don't understand how he gets away with it. That's for lawyers. I don't know how he gets away with it.
Because conservatives are a bunch of pussies and they're worried about war.
Well, he'd be happy in China, don't you think?
Because war directly affects their bank accounts.
He claims he would be.
He's wearing he literally wear Mao Zedong outfit, which, by the way, was not cheap, I'm sure.
No, it was not cheap. That's a Chanel Mao.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Chanel Mao. I will say, though,
Dolce and Zedong.
Yeah, Dolce and Zedong. I will say, he actually is a good example to point to because you go, how is he allowed? Okay, now you understand academia and the media in our institution. These people have been allowed. And the reason is because no one on the right has a stomach for it because we don't want to be accused of being a Mussolini. We don't want to be accused of being a fascist. If we say, you're not allowed to be here because you hate our country and you seek to destroy it. If you denaturalize, deport them, people go, see, you're just like insert fascist here.
I don't care.
No. It's not.
Yeah, call me a fascist. I don't give a fuck. I'll be a fascist. You want me to be a fascist? I'll go harder.
You hate this country and you support our enemies, you should go live amongst the enemy. And this
absolutely.
Yeah, if that's fascism, then I'm a fascist.
It brings me to another one because we'll get to we can't not talk about the Odyssey. AOC said that woke 1.0 was so crazy, like, oh yeah, we went too far, which means there's woke 2.0. And you cover film, things like this quite a bit. I mean, I watch your stuff all the time. Are you seeing that play out, meaning the way I see it is a more subtle version of subversion, woke 2.0? And what do you make of the Odyssey and what happened?
Okay, so when it comes to the Odyssey, and I did a double take because I had to make sure I give you the right numbers, I made 71 videos on the Odyssey and Nolan and 300 tweets. So I may need professional help.
No. You're the professional. You help others.
Okay, great. But yeah, no. So what's happening is that they are using media, as you know, when it comes to our hobbies, whether it be video games, whether it be movies, whether it be, you name it.
Of course they are.
To push the message.
People who think that it's not happening are just fucking retarded. They're brain dead. Of course, they would be getting manipulated by the powers that be because that's what everybody's interested in. And they want absolute control over everybody's minds.
And I hate it because it's, politics, particularly the kind of left-wing radical nonsense that they push through these otherwise beautiful...
There's a reason why they want us dead, because these people buy into all this propaganda, and anybody who doesn't is just evil, and they must be eradicated. Get them out.
Fun things.
Get out all these people that think these things. Deport them all. I don't care if they're American. I don't care if their families have been here for generations.
It ruins it because hobbies unite and politics divide. So the two things are mutually exclusive, and when they infect, because that's what it is, leftism is a disease of the mind. And so when they infect stuff like this, they ruin it. And it pisses me off when, as a man from the Mediterranean, it pisses me off that they use something like Homer and they insult him for being misogynistic. I love that part, by the way, with Lupita Nyong'o, Spanakopita, Helen of Congo. This is what we got. No Helen of Troy, Helen of Congo. That's what we got. And she is complaining about how misogynist Homer is because he doesn't give enough screen time to women. And then
they think they're better than the original artists. That's what they did with Halo, the Halo D-Make. They thought they were better than the original problematic Bungie.
Yeah, what's his name? Christopher Nolan gives a 3-minute screen time.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, what are we even doing?
It's 3 minutes of Congo time. Yeah, it's better than nothing. But yeah, this whole thing is...
You're damn right they're going to push it through the media, though.
It's like, if I could talk with Homer, I'd say, why wouldn't you include women more? Have you read it? Have you read the original poem? Like, it's not really made for you, and that's okay. If you don't like it, remember the left used to say, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. Well, if you don't like the classics, don't read them.
Precisely. And in fact, but she admitted she didn't read it.
Right.
They don't care about this.
Like, she probably can't read.
All the people that paid to watch that movie, go fuck yourself, dude. You want to complain about how shitty the world is, yet you still buy GTA. You still pay to watch the Odyssey, sometimes multiple times. Oh, but it's to own the chuds. I hate data centers. I think we should destroy data centers. I'm going to give Comcast a whole bunch of money to watch this movie in IMAX multiple times so they can make more data centers. Make it make sense. These people are evil.
That's a possibility as well. Here's the thing, though. When it comes to the race swap, which is a major thing, they've been doing it. It's not like this is an isolated example. They've been doing it for over a decade, which is part of woke 1. Whatever the heck they're calling it.
Right.
And I don't think they're going to stop. They are going to, maybe now they feel a little bit that it doesn't really resonate with the audience when their audiences and voter blocks when they talk about defund the police, which, by the way, how does that even work?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Exactly. So maybe you can explain to me what these people are asking, because if it's anarchy with no law enforcement, they wouldn't last 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what they're asking for. And
it's, what do you call it? Suicidal empathy. It's delusional. It's why they're working with the Muslims, even though the Muslim culture and their book is totally against the gays. So whenever they gain more power than the leftoids, they're going to kill all the leftoids first.
And they say, no, we didn't really mean it. They absolutely did. And places that defunded the police saw the highest spike, ironically, in black homicide, right?
By the way, I just saw a video where a group of Muslims fought a group of trans people. It's starting to break down, ladies and gentlemen.
Homicide victims of anywhere else in the country. So this is what they did. They quietly started refunding the police. But the original proposal was self-policing and sending in social work. And what that really means when you understand that they are socialists, right? And they say, we're also going to remove people's guns.
Self-policing. You mean mob rule. That's what you mean.
Also going to redistribute wealth. It means they will have a military. They will have an armed enforcement mechanism, and there will be no more local police forces. So it's really scary and sinister when you look at the whole plan. And by the way, this is on the DSA's own website. So it's not like we're just pulling this out of nowhere.
No, of course.
I do want to continue and ask you about your experiences in Europe, Japan versus the United States. But before we go, what would you say, as someone who's taught history, people need to be most aware of and look for? Because a lot of people are going, okay, I can't tell the difference between propaganda and what's accurate out there anymore. Do you have kind of some guidelines for folks like that, in addition to your channel, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I would like to say, and this is an answer based on history, ancient and modern, don't give up. And the reason why I say that is look at Europe now, which really, really kills me inside as a European.
A guy got threatened by Take-Two in the UK.
To see what's happening there. And when you look at, for example, the UK, and someone like Sir Keir Starmer, peace may never be upon him in the United Caliphate. Look at what he did. He gave they have no guns. They can't even carry, a British citizen can't even carry a pepper spray.
You can't even go buy a baseball bat wrapped in plastic from a store without getting arrested. Something that they actually sell in a store. You walk outside with that bat wrapped in plastic, arrested.
Right.
But this guy is giving an exception to the Sikh, I think it's pronounced, to carry swords. What do they do? They introduce the business end of that blade to someone, Henry Novak, unfortunately. He gets killed. What does this guy do, the traitor of the West? He doubles down. He's not going to remove the exception. So now foreigners have the ability to carry weapons, a dagger, whatever you want to call it, but native citizens don't. What are we doing?
Yeah. Well, that subverts the actual system.
Well, obviously, they want these people in their country, and they don't like the people that are against them. So if they don't allow them to have guns and they let in the people that they do like and allow them to have weapons because it's part of their religion, it's part of their culture, they're going to kill you, and then that's all that's left. But they don't realize because they're too fucking stupid and they're too worried about the now instead of the future. They're going to get killed by these same people.
But I mean, as far as like people consuming content, because it is tough. That's why what we try and do is we make all the references available every show. So if we make any factual claim, we can be fact checked, and we browbeat ourselves, admonish ourselves. What would you say to the average person out there? It's like, look, I don't have this much time to invest in education or politics, but I feel like I'm often being hit with propaganda. Are there some good kind of tells for them to look for?
Yes. For example, I would look for buzzwords. If you look at the website, official website of the University of Waterloo in Canada, I've covered it multiple times on the channel. They have this entire language guideline system because language control is part of propagandistic system. It's always been. And so when they start telling you that, for example, you can't say foreigner, you have to say international person. By the way, I'm an alien.
Language control is very easy to use against the left. That's why whenever you piss off the left, they all call you the same thing. They all just call you an incel. They all simultaneously call you a Nazi.
Alien, call me alien all you want. I love it. Alien from deeper space.
They're easy to manipulate.
They hate that word. They say that you can't say minorities. You have to say equity deserving groups. One, why do they always make it longer? Right. Two, the reason
George
why
Carlin had a joke about that.
That way you spread the message whether you believe in it or not if you swap the language. Right. They've done that with man, female, black. They change everything. Black capitalized, white lowercase.
Right.
That's on the official website. It's absolutely insane. So when they look at as a scapegoat, when they want to do this collective guilt and they make it racial, with white people when they say the cause is white supremacy. Oh, they said white supremacy, red flag. Like, we need to start using these as red flags.
Yes.
Like every time.
That's a very good point.
Right?
We did the same thing. If
That's what I
someone
do.
unironically writes Latinx, or if they say cis, I go right away, that's an asshole. And it's funny that you mentioned alien every time, because my mom is Canadian, my dad is American. We travel back and forth, and every time we'd go...
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, well, exactly. I believe me. No one hates Canada more than her. She wants us to take over Canada. We'd go through to Plattsburgh, New York, or Champlain, New York, and they'd say, okay, country, your residents, and my dad would go, we have 3 Americans and 1 green card here, 1 resident green card holder. And my mom would turn to the border security, and she would go, beep, beep, like an alien. I'd go, Mom, do you stop doing the beep, beep joke? But she had no problem with it. All right, I want to ask you a few more, but it's Metatron, YT on, we're going to have this in the lower third, and Pure Metatron on X. We're going to continue here on Rumble Premium if you got a little bit more time.
And, of course.
And I'm so glad to have you here. My brother and I have watched it. We're like, have you seen this thing? We're like, yeah, it's bullshit. Cleopatra wasn't black, but she was You've got to go watch more videos.
Yeah, I love me some Metatron. I watch him almost daily. I follow him on X. You should definitely go and follow him on everything, because dude is fucking awesome.
So according to Puck News, there are apparently 7 possible new Marvel Disney Plus live action series
Wonderful.
that could be
They're definitely not going to flop.
coming out. Now that's weird, in fact, because at D23, the only one that was announced was Vision Quest, which they're calling it the end of the trilogy, the end of the Wanda trilogy, and all of that kind of begs the question, why would they be doing that when it seems like in every respect the studio is moving away from relying on Disney Plus as a means of their content out there?
Probably because they already had it in the works and it's too far along, so they have to do it now. There's probably a bunch of contracts and shit. They're fucked. This is what happens with corporate bureaucracy.
Because it just doesn't have the cultural relevance that putting the movies, putting things in theaters.
Maybe they're banking on Doomsday bringing people back to Marvel, and it's not going to work.
Does for them. And I kind of have my own beliefs on why I think it won't work, even if you flood the zone with 7 new shows. Obviously, Bob Iger, before his exit, spoke about the need to cut back on focusing on output and focus more on quality. And I think that rings true for a lot of people. And I still do believe that superhero fatigue is a thing. I don't believe that the success of Spider-Man or Avengers Doomsday is necessarily indicative of people suddenly loving superheroes again. I think it simply means that
Dude, I fucking hate that people, they get tricked. They get tricked into paying for all this shit, and they think that Spider-Man Brand New Day is a good movie because it's the best Marvel movie in a long time. So people went out in droves to see it. Eat up the goy slop, piggies! You are just paying for them to keep shitifying the culture. They are not back.
Avengers characters like Steve Rogers, Thor, and all of them, they're kind of grandfathered in, and people have interest there because they're very well known. And obviously Spider-Man is universally beloved and omnipresent in the culture.
I love Spider-Man. I want them to fucking be done with Spider-Man. I hate Tom Holland Spider-Man.
So
I thought Brand New Day was all right. I had a lot of issues with it. It's one of the worst Spider-Man movies. Unfortunately, one of the best Marvel movies.
Look back at what they were doing, and we'll get into all of this, but let's just go through what they were doing at Disney when they flooded the zone, and that really is what they were doing from 21 to 24. So in 2021, they released WandaVision, Hawkeye, Loki Season 1, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, What If Season 1. In 2022, you got Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, I Am Groot, She-Hulk, Werewolf by Night. I'm adding in some of the animated there those as well, obviously with all that stuff. 2023, this is when they started cutting back. You had Secret Invasion, Loki Season 2, What If Season 2. 2024, you had Echo, X-Men 97, Agatha All Along, Season 3.
X-Men 97 did pretty good. I tried watching it. I didn't like it. It looked too modern.
25, you get stuff like Daredevil Born Again, which did not manage to really impress with people the way they wanted it to. And I think in a lot of ways, knowing that it was going to be made...
Because it's too safe. It's too corporate. It's too uninteresting. It seems like it's made just to be made for the sake of it existing.
by Disney, it was always set up for failure because it was never going to reach the levels of success that you got with Netflix Daredevil. And that kind of, you look at all of those shows and you think about how Marvel Netflix started to feel crowded by the time you got to Iron Fist and Danny Rand and then Defenders, right? You go from Daredevil to Jessica Jones to Luke Cage to, by the end of it, it did feel like you were starting to get kind of bombarded with stuff and the world felt more crowded perhaps than it needed to be. And as the shows went on, shows like Iron Fist were the proof that they had that they weren't necessarily going to be able to keep up that quality that they really mastered with Daredevil season 1.
I don't even know what Iron Fist is.
And
I know about Iron Heart.
Daredevil, Born Again, underperformed. Wonder Man, which I loved, thought was absolutely fantastic, was great, but the viewers that they wanted.
Are we going to talk about Madam Web? That's my favorite Marvel movie of all time. I love how people were trying to tell me how good it was before that movie came out, and when it was out and people were going to theaters, like, I absolutely loved this movie.
Originally, they were going to do a season 2. They ended up canceling that. So I guess let's go through the article here a little bit and draw our conclusions.
You don't like Madam Web just because you're a sexist. You're a misogynist.
So it says, according to Puck News, Marvel is actively developing multiple live-action Disney Plus streaming service, although specific projects remain unknown. Announcements could arrive in the near future.
I think they're going to cancel them. It'd be funny if they're all white-led shows and they canceled all the black shows.
The report follows a surprisingly quiet D23 where Marvel did not reveal any new live-action Disney Plus shows. The studio instead focused attention on theatrical projects, Avengers Doomsday, and the upcoming X-Men reboot. That's where you got the Navarrete.
Dude, I am not looking forward to that X-Men reboot, but I am at the same time. I'm not going to watch it, but I'm definitely going to watch the conversations online. I'm going to see what Nerdrotic has to say, Friday Night Tights. I'm going to see what Critical Drinker has to say, what Asmongold has to say.
Announcement and
Pop
all
Culture
the
Crisis
there, the cast list, stuff like that. Vision Quest, which has been described as the final chapter of the WandaVision trilogy, was the only new live-action series prominent in the event. It premieres on October 14th. The new report appears to contradict previous claims that Marvel is winding down.
Why does that shot have the same lighting and colors as the Odyssey right there? And Fable, the video game. Dude, it's all like trying to look realistic, and I hate it. These are comic book movies, man. I don't want them to look realistic. I want them to feel like comic books.
Down its live-action television operation, or Vision Quest. However, the two accounts may not be entirely incompatible. On August 14th, Collider reported that Marvel Studios was cutting back on live-action Disney Plus shows. However, it noted the possibility of Marvel miniseries and specials, like this year's Punisher One Last Kill, being released under the Marvel Presents and the Marvel Spotlight banners. One Last Kill was fine. I thought it didn't make the best use of its time. As much violence as you got in there, I would still go back and watch Punisher Warzone and be like, right, that's the schlock that
I'm probably going to be watching that again very, very soon. It's been so long since I watched it, and I loved it when I watched the original Punisher stuff. And playing the original Punisher game, ooh, buddy.
So it looks like Nicolas Hoult is out as Gilderoy Lockhart in Harry Potter, and instead is going to be Kit Harington. Now, I think
good for him. Good for him for not being part of this absolute disaster.
Nicolas Hoult would have been amazing as Lockhart, but I think he's leaving because of the backlash. They're saying it's because of a quote-unquote scheduling conflict. I'm like, no, they made a big deal about him joining the cast. And then, of course, we had the usual suspects attacking him for daring to join the cast of Harry Potter. There were some threats and disappointment.
Why would they at all pander to the trans audience who hates them?
And you know the drill. You know how...
It's so weird. Like, the LGBTQ plus community fucking hates Harry Potter, yet they're still trying to pander to that audience. It just makes no fucking sense to me.
Anybody that's associated with the Harry Potter brand at this point is going to get backlash from a certain vocal minority on social media. And, he probably just didn't want to deal with it. If I'm being honest, I'm going to be honest. I don't think I would want to deal with it. I'd be like, you know what? I like Harry Potter, but do I really want threats? Do I really want the headaches of having to defend myself every time there's an interview Do I really want to have to sit here and like make excuses for J.K. Rowling's opinions or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Take those questions that really I don't give a shit about one way or the other. I'm just here for paycheck. You know, I mean, it probably gets old after a while. Now, Harry Potter is very, very uncanceled. I mean, you go to any grocery store, you go to Walmart, you're going to see more Harry Potter stuff than you have seen probably in 20 years as they get closer to this HBO reboot.
Yeah, because online, it's a bunch of fake fucks. They're all fake. The conversation around it is fake. All the people that hate on Harry Potter didn't like Harry Potter in the first place.
Which, look, I don't know how good or bad it's going to be.
The leftoids that like Harry Potter, they didn't even really like Harry Potter. They just liked the fandom online.
But anytime anybody has anything to do with this franchise, again, you've got Blue Sky and Instagram and all these very, very quote-unquote woke outlets taking issue with J.K. Rowling, turning the conversation to her opinions on trans people and gender equality and all that stuff. And yeah, it would be hard. It would be hard to deal with, right? So let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Hey, if you'd like more Clownfish TV, we're ramping up the website over at clownfishtv.com. We're actually moving the more.clownfishtv.com to the website, and we're moving a lot of stuff around regarding our websites because Google.
Yeah, I follow this website. I got it bookmarked. I look at it every single day.
Google has basically destroyed the internet, and I don't see the point in paying to host a bunch of websites that frankly aren't getting enough traffic to justify it, because it's just Google has destroyed the internet, right? So go out to clownfishtv.com. You can check out all of our podcasts over there. We've got some paywalled content. We're going to be doing more with that.
I'm going to open up myself a website very, very soon.
And trying to get a schedule here. We're probably going to bring live streams back, but we're going to do them over there instead of on YouTube, because YouTube, again, does not like to promote live streams very much. I don't think they do anything to promote live streams. They'll gladly take like a 30% cut of your super chats, but they don't want to actually promote the live stream, which is why you have to have like that time. And I never know. I never know when we're going to have time to live stream. So anyway, go out to clownfishtv.com, sign up. It doesn't cost you anything to sign up to be notified. Thanks so much for that. Let's go out to Blue Sky, and this is how I'm going to speculate. This is why I'm speculating, rather, that Nicolas Hoult chose to walk away from this rather than deal with the mess that is the Harry Potter antis. This is Gretchen Felker Martin. Gretchen Felker Martin, if the name is familiar, that's the person that was making the comments about Charlie Kirk when Charlie Kirk died, got assassinated, making comments delighting in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And now Gretchen Felker Martin is saying, crushed to learn Nicolas Hoult has exploded on the set of Superman and died and is now dead.
What?
Yeah, there we go. At least they're consistent, right? Well, fuck Nicolas Hoult, I guess. Then James Gunn says, happy birthday to the nicest supervillain. Actually, I like Nicolas. I think he seems like a pretty solid guy. But yeah, they're not real happy.
I liked Nicolas Hoult as an actor whenever he was a kid.
Be with him. Let's see what the latest here is. Nicolas Hoult leaving HP immediately is so funny. They said Kit Harington has joined the cast. We'll talk more about that. Nicolas Hoult backed out over a scheduling issue. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, it's backlash. Harry Potter, Kit Harington replaces Nicolas Hoult.
I'm surprised they didn't make him an Indian or something.
I think it's okay. This person says, I think it's okay for a fairly busy non-online person like Hoult to not be aware of Rowling's deal because it doesn't get covered in the mainstream press. If he signed on, somebody clued him in to how much Rowling sucks and he backed out.
I don't think that's why he backed out.
That would be cool. We can only speculate. There may be scheduling conflicts. No. I think he
doesn't like you people.
He decided he didn't want to deal with it. Brilliant. He absolutely kills it in the full cast audiobook. So yeah, Kit Harington, I guess, plays Lockhart in the audiobook. Okay. Well, that makes sense then. Jeremy Hot Wheels. Hey, congratulations. You got that part in the new Harry Potter show. Oh, wow. I thought Nicolas Hoult got in. Oh yeah, but he dropped out. Why? ... Why? Yeah. Why indeed? Blue Sky. I'd love to think Hoult was bullied out of. We love him so much. We love this guy so much. We hope he's getting bullied. Nicolas Hoult deciding he didn't want any of that smoke. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think he's just like, I don't want to deal with this shit.
1,000%. Hoult. There are some real people on Blue Sky. I am secretly on Blue Sky because I watch. I like to watch to see what everybody's saying, and it's absolute insanity over there. But in between the cracks, you find some based people who somehow didn't get banned yet.
Crew, we are so back. I miss Nicolas Hoult choosing to Nicolas Hoult on this job. Someone got Hoult in a headlock, I guess, but something winter is coming for Kit Harington. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I really hope to God that these people stay away from the kids working on this. Like, you can have your opinions about J.K. Rowling. You can choose not to watch this show for whatever reason.
I guarantee you they're going to be doing the Shadman thing where they're going to be showing these kids in very, very fucked up situations in the in quotes, fan art.
I do think a lot of people are going to choose. Well, yeah, I say that. Watch it be like the biggest thing ever on HBO. I thought Lanterns was going to maybe crash and burn, and it's doing like super good. So like,
yeah, because it's straight up boring goy slop. Dude, if you pay to watch any of this shit, you deserve the culture that we're in. You want to complain about how everything sucks? Well, you're the fucking problem.
Like, people might just freaking love this just because it's Harry Potter. There's so many reasons to not be interested.
I'm gonna watch it, but guess what? I ain't fucking paying for it. Oh, I can't whistle. It doesn't pick it up on the microphone. Damn it. No. Yo ho, yo ho.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I don't think bullying actors who are just taking a gig is the way to go. This ain't it. Because what's going to happen, and this is like what happened with a lot of that people work in the animation industry too, is they're not going to do these projects. They're not going to take that work. They're not going to listen to you. They're going to think you're crazy. They're not going to listen to you because they're going to be like, I don't want to deal with this situation. I'm not going to do any more animation. I'm not going to go anywhere near the animation industry. I'm not going to work on certain franchises because the fandom is insane.
Working on HBO's Harry Potter is kind of just, it seems like an L to me because you're in the wokest piece of Harry Potter media. So like the chuds hate it and the trans community hates it because of J.K. Rowling. There's just no winning.
See also Dee Dee from Steven Universe, and the Mickey Mouse Club. She's getting all kinds of crap now too.
I covered that
because Steven Universe, the fandom there is like just gone off the rails. So let's
and they deserve it. They deserve all of the bad feelings that they have to deal with. They're being murdered because of these choices that people make in their personal lives that have nothing to do with them. It's murdering people. Trans kids' lives are at stake because of online conversations.
So the story here, the official reason is scheduling. I don't think. Deadline says exclusive Game of Thrones star Kit Harington is joining another tentpole fantasy series for HBO. He's going to play Gilderoy Lockhart in season 2. Harington replaces Nicolas Hoult, who was originally cast in the role but left over scheduling issues. This is only like a week after he was announced. I don't think that's what's going on.
I saw it 2 days ago that he was going to be in it. That was fucking quick.
At all. I think it's like, oh shit, I didn't know this was going to be that big of a deal. HBO had to work around 2 pre-existing Holt projects when filming the Gilderoy Lockhart scenes. They said it was no longer feasible, and the Superman actor was let out of his deal. I think that there may be some truth to that, but I don't think I personally don't.
It's never the whole story. They're not going to tell you what actually happened from a corporation.
Recasting, Harrington's going to portray a character he's already played. He voiced Gilderoy Lockhart in the star-studded Harry Potter, the full cast audio edition released late last year. And they were bullying people. Oh my God. All the actors that worked on that too, they were going after. Like anybody that has anything to do with Harry Potter, it's like, you do realize, like, if you go to Universal theme parks, even if you don't go to Harry Potter land, you don't go to the Wizarding World, that she's still getting paid, right? You know this, right? You go to Walmart. Walmart carries a lot of Harry Potter stuff. You go to, my God, all these restaurants that are doing Harry Potter tie-ins, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger, I think, as we get closer to this series dropping. There really is no way to avoid everything Harry Potter. She can't go broke. You don't have to agree with her.
And she also has some other stuff that she does not at J.K. Rowling. She's got a, what do you call it? A ghost name?
There's no scenario.
Pseudonym, there we go.
In which J.K. Rowling is going to go broke unless the entire world economy collapses. Because you get to a point with money where you've got so much money, unless you're snorting it all up your nose and just like you can't possibly spend it all.
Yeah, she's just doing things for fun now.
Because your money just makes more money, right? That's the place she's at right now. When you get to be like a billionaire or something, like your money is just going to keep making money. It's you just leave it parked in an account somewhere. You invest it. It's just going to make money passively. And that's just how it works. So sorry, she's never going to go broke. She's never going to go broke. In a featurette released by Audible at the time, Harrington spoke of his fondness for the Harry Potter book in his childhood. I read it, and like so many generations, I was entranced, and then I was a huge fan all through my teenage years. Lockhart is a major character in the second book. He was Kenneth Branagh, and I think he was real.
Wait, second book. He's going to be in the second season. Are they doing a book per season? How old are these kids going to be by the time this finishes? I don't think they're going to finish it. I think they're going to do a few seasons. They're not going to get all the way to the end.
He's notoriously vain, boastful, and fame-obsessed, and apparently based on J.K. Rowling's ex-husband, I guess. There's a little bit of Gilderoy in all of us, Harrington said at the same featurette, and they're not mentioning the backlash. That's why I'm mentioning the backlash. I think 100% this is what happened. Yet Nicolas Hoult couldn't possibly have known what his schedule would be like when he was announced for the role 2 weeks ago. Who among us has that kind of foresight? Yes, exactly. Bullshit. He backed out. As a 20-plus year Nicolas Hoult lover, this makes my life so much easier.
Or he's still involved with DC, and they just made a whole bunch of changes at DC. The schedules could have shifted. And you think about it, do you want to be part of the HBO Harry Potter thing that's going to be absolutely destroyed by all sides because nobody wants this? It's made for nobody. Or are you going to work with DC that's still kind of successful with multiple properties and multiple ties to other possible movie deals that they could do?
Nicolas Hoult. Hey guys, guess who just got yelled at? Nicolas Hoult has left the series due to scheduling conflicts. Smart move. He's not going to say he left because he got bullied. He's not going to say he left because he doesn't want to deal with all the drama. He's just going to be like, you know what? I can't do it.
Or he showed up on set and was like, holy shit, all these people are fucking freaks.
Pass.
It's all blue-haired fat women.
I can't do it. I'm too busy, guys. I've got
in their 40s
brunch at McDonald's or something I got to do that day. Holt realizing he fucked up only for another actor to immediately step on the rake is very funny. Well, he's already stepped on the rake. I guess Kit Harington.
He probably realized that all of this screaming and all the backlash doesn't actually affect anything.
Already figured he's taken his lumps already. Good on Nicolas Hoult, but boo, Kit Harington, boo. Well, he's already done. And I don't agree with, like, look, again, I want to.
If the backlash from the chuds isn't doing anything, then your little backlash from the trans community isn't going to do anything.
Reiterate, you don't have to like J.K. Rowling. You don't have to like her opinions, whatever. That's entirely up to you. You support who you want to support. You don't.
As long as her opinions or dumbass opinions don't make it into the product that she's making, I'm fine with it. Which, unfortunately, this Harry Potter TV series definitely has that. So I'll be watching it for the laughs, and just so I'll have something to talk about with it, because I am such a big Harry Potter fan. I've played literally every single Harry Potter video game ever made, seen all the movies, read all the books. I haven't got to the audiobooks yet, but I will eventually.
Don't support who you don't want to support. I get it. Attacking people, bullying people, I don't think it's cool, and I definitely don't think it's cool.
I think it's cool.
One game company we covered a couple of months
I like bullying.
Ago did the card game, and it was a smaller game company, and they got the Harry Potter license, and they were super excited about it. And they actually released Harry Potter games before, and they were basically bullied by the media and bullied by Blue Sky. Just don't buy it, right?
Grow some balls.
But again, what's going to happen is people are just going.
All these people screaming about your product aren't your fan base anyway.
Look at the Harry Potter antis, and they're going to be like, you guys are batshit. We're never going to listen to a damn thing you ever say ever. And I really do believe 100% the reason we're seeing a resurgence in Harry Potter is because of the backlash to J.K. Rowling.
Yep. That's why I'm so interested in it now. I fell off of the Harry Potter, in quotes, fandom just before Hogwarts Legacy got announced. And then Hogwarts Legacy got announced, and everybody was talking about how shit J.K. Rowling was. And I was like, this game might be pretty good. And it was. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good.
Because the backlash to J.K. Rowling led to higher sales of Hogwarts Legacy. Like, Harry Potter was a dying franchise. I mean, it was okay, but it was kind of like in a Star Wars place where it was like, it was still popular. It wasn't as popular as it was. And the new movies didn't resonate with people like the originals did, right?
I forgot about those movies.
And then the J.K. Rowling drama happened. And
bro, I got onto those movies. I watched the first two of the, what are they called? Wizards of Waverly Place. Fuck, I forgot what it was called anyway. Yeah, and they were garbage. They were mid as fuck.
Then people took it to an unbelievable level.
And they got the dude from Balls of Fury. As soon as I saw that guy, I immediately recognized him from Balls of Fury, and I was like, well, I'm taken out of this.
And they threw these temper tantrums, and she just got bigger and bigger. And now all of a sudden you had the people that, this is so weird, you had the people that tried to cancel J.K. Rowling before. You had like all these conservatives and these Christian people that tried to cancel her books 20, 30 years ago. And I remember that, like these Catholic libraries and stuff, they're banning J.K.
Yeah, now that everything's gotten so bad, they've realized, oh, it wasn't that bad and had a lot of Christian values in there compared to everything else we're getting today.
Rowling because of witchcraft. They had like little Jack Chick tracks. Harry Potter's promoting witchcraft. Now all of these people love J.K. Rowling. It's very weird. It's very weird to see. But I really do think the backlash and the temper tantrums help this series get made.
Yeah, if the evil people don't like you, then the people who are against evil are probably going to end up liking you because of that.
Because that's what HBO was looking at. That's what Warner Brothers was looking at. They're like, hey, Hogwarts Legacy sold metric tons because of the boycotts. Now we're going to greenlight another Harry Potter series. No, it's got to be actual Harry Potter. It can't be like knockoff Harry Potter or stories in and around the Harry Potter universe because nobody gives a shit about those. Nobody gave a shit about Fantastic Beasts. No, it has to be actual
Fantastic Beasts.
Harry
That's
Potter.
what it was.
So let's just do Harry Potter again. They should have just called it that. Harry Potter.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. That's a dumbass name.
Potter again. They should do it like End of Evangelion and Rebuild of Evangelion and just be like, they could use the time turner or something. They could just be like, yeah, we're just going to go back and retcon Harry Potter now using the time turner.
Bringing up End of Evangelion. Based in Neon Genesis is absolutely amazing. And that's where I'm going to end today's show. We're going to skip the body cam portion because I've run out of time. I went too long. We'll get better. I'll get better at the time management. Like and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow.